What happens when Hollywood's toughest man faces a fight he can't win? Liam Neeson conquered poverty, survived a near-fatal crash, and became one of cinema's most iconic voices. But when tragedy struck in 2009, the man who saved thousands on screen stood helpless as his world collapsed. What followed wasn't heroic. It was raw, messy, and hidden from cameras. The real story involves bottles of wine, impossible choices, and a promise that would haunt him forever. This is what really happened. Ballymena, Northern Ireland, 1952. A working-class town where Catholic and Protestant divisions ran deeper than any script could capture. Barney Neeson swept floors in schools his wages could never afford for his children. Kitty Neeson came home with burned hands from cooking in other people's kitchens. Their son was quiet, watchful, the kind of boy who learned early that silence was safer than speaking. Boxing became his language. By his teens, he was winning matches, channeling frustration into discipline. Then came the hit he never saw coming, a concussion so severe it ended his boxing career instantly. He walked away from the ring that night and never looked back. Some wounds, he learned, don't heal with rest. They just teach you to walk differently. Belfast in the 1970s was a graveyard for ambition. Neeson drove trucks through freezing rain, hauled cargo until his hands bled, and slept fully dressed in his coat because the heating bill went unpaid. He enrolled at university with dreams of becoming a teacher, but philosophy lectures don't fill an empty stomach. When the money dried up, so did the dream. Then in 1976, desperation led him to the Lyric Players Theater, where he swept stages for survival wages. Within weeks, someone handed him 2 lines in a production. Standing beneath those stage lights, something fundamental changed. For the first time, his silence became an asset, not a liability. The defining moment arrived in 1993 when Steven Spielberg offered him Oscar Schindler in Schindler's List. For 110 days, Neeson lived inside a German industrialist who rescued over 1,000 Jewish lives during the Holocaust. The weight was crushing. After filming the liquidation scene in Krakow, he returned to his hotel room and sat in complete darkness, too devastated to move or sleep. The film won 7 Academy Awards. Neeson received his first and only Oscar nomination for Best Actor. Critics called it the performance of a generation. He called it the role that nearly broke him permanently. Fame, he learned, came with scars invisible to cameras. But success opened doors Neeson never anticipated. Barbara Broccoli, producer of James Bond, called repeatedly after Schindler, wanting him for GoldenEye. It was 1994, his absolute peak. Then Natasha Richardson, the woman he'd fallen for during Broadway's Anna Christie, gave him a choice: play Bond or marry me. She couldn't accept the romantic scenes, the glamorous lifestyle, the constant speculation. Neeson didn't deliberate. He chose love over legacy. Pierce Brosnan became 007. Neeson became a husband. They married in Millbrook, New York that year, rain tapping windows as candles burned low. He never looked back. By 2000, his contributions to cinema earned him an Officer of the Order of the British Empire from Queen Elizabeth II. The honor recognized his services to drama, a validation that came not from box office numbers, but from cultural impact. He was already considered among the elite of British and Irish actors, respected for his craft long before he became an action star. Then came March 2009. Natasha Richardson went skiing near Montreal. A simple fall, a bump. She smiled, joked with instructors, went back to her lodge. Hours later, the headache came. It didn't leave. Neeson was in Toronto filming when he got the call. He gripped his wedding ring so tightly on the flight north that it left a mark on his palm. At the hospital, a doctor took him aside, eyes already apologizing. Her brain is dead. The words made no sense. He walked into her room expecting breath, laughter, anything human. But Natasha lay there, still and serene, as if sleeping. For hours, he sat beside her, speaking softly. "You're safe. You're loved. You can go." They had made a pact years earlier. If one of them could no longer return, the other would let them go. He nodded to the doctors.
The machines stopped. But even in that unbearable moment, Neeson honored another promise. Richardson had spent over 15 years fighting AIDS stigma with AMFAR, eventually becoming a board member in 2006. She believed in giving, in leaving the world better than she found it. So Neeson made the decision to donate 3 of her organs. On CBS 60 Minutes in 2014, he would say, "We donated 3 of her organs, so she's keeping 3 people alive at the moment." A family friend told People magazine that someone who spent so much time fighting stigma would naturally donate her organs. In grief, Neeson ensured Natasha's compassion would outlive them both. The months that followed were a blur. Neeson worked because moving was easier than feeling. Taken, The A-Team, Unknown, The Gray, films that looked like thrillers but were really confessions. But behind the cameras, truth was different. He was drinking, not occasionally, not socially. 2, sometimes 3 bottles of wine every night. "I was drinking too much," he admitted in a 2014 GQ interview. "It started since my wife died. I'd be on my 2nd bottle before dinner was over, and halfway down a 3rd by the time I went to bed." He described himself as a jolly drinker, never falling down drunk, but always numbing the edges. It went on for 4 years. Then, in 2013, he stopped, cold, completely. His sons were watching. He wanted to model something better than survival. He wanted to show them recovery. 5 months after Natasha's death in August 2009, Neeson made a quiet gesture of gratitude. He appeared on Good Morning America with Diane Sawyer and announced he had become a United States citizen. "I'm still getting extraordinary condolence messages from American people that are deeply touching," he said. "That's partially the reason why I've recently become an American citizen." He maintained dual Irish-American citizenship, still a proud Irishman, but forever changed by the compassion strangers offered when he needed it most. His humanitarian work, which began quietly in the late 1990s, took on new urgency. Neeson became a UNICEF National Ambassador for Ireland around 1997, then a Goodwill Ambassador in 2011. But he didn't just lend his name, he traveled. Mozambique in 2005, meeting children affected by HIV/AIDS. Jordan in 2017, taking his son Michal to meet Syrian refugee children. The Brazil-Venezuela border in 2019. South Sudan in 2025, confronting severe malnutrition crises. Empathy born from personal tragedy channeled into action. In 2018, 9 years after his mother's death, Michal Richardson made a decision that deeply moved his father. At just 23, he officially changed his surname to Richardson. "It was mainly like a homage to my mother," Michal explained, "a way to carry her with me." Vanessa Redgrave, Natasha Richardson's mother, clarified that it had nothing to do with avoiding Liam Neeson's fame. Instead, Michal wanted to keep his mother's legacy close, honoring her as the remarkable actress and woman she was. Liam Neeson responded with quiet pride. "I think he did the right thing. It was a lovely gesture," he said. The name change became a symbol of multi-generational healing, a family united in love and remembrance of Natasha Richardson. Today, Liam Neeson is 73. He splits his time between New York and the countryside estate he once shared with Natasha. His body still carries the scars of a devastating 2000 motorcycle accident that shattered his pelvis, with doctors once saying he wouldn't survive the night. He walks slower now, stretches longer, and feels the ache in joints that carried decades of stunts and gravity. But he is still here, still working, still showing up, still honoring the life and love that shaped him. Liam Neeson's story matters because he's not indestructible. He's human. In his silence, his scars, his refusal to surrender, he proves that real strength isn't measured by volume, it's measured by endurance. Sometimes the quietest battles leave the deepest marks. And that kind of resilience, that's the only immortality worth chasing. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood truths. Thanks for watching.